President Cyril Ramaphosa yesterday opened a group of 20 foreign ministers meeting with a call for cooperation amid geopolitical tensions and rising intolerance. Ramaphosa says nations around the world are looking at G20 for leadership and guidance in tackling a number of pressing global issues. Top diplomats from the world's largest economies are gathered in Johannesburg for the two-day talks held for the first time in the African continent. Let's now cross to SABC News reporter Khayelihle Khumalo for more. Khayelihle, thank you so much for joining us on Point. What can we expect on day two of the G20 Foreign Ministers Meeting?
Well, absolutely, Diaba. So it is the last day, but a lot of invigorating discussions when you look at all these important global issues. It's all about really the collaboration, the partnership, especially amongst the most powerful economies in the world. I mean, for example, you do know that the G20 representing about 75% of global trade, but also almost like a 2/3 of the global population. So there's quite a lot at stake, and obviously all these overlapping crises, whether you're looking at the wars right here in the African continent, what's happening between Russia and Ukraine, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa emphasizing the issue of diplomatic solution as a very viable path in tackling this. But for South Africa also, Diabo, it's all about making sure that if we talk about decarbonizing South Africa's economy, mobilization of finances remains a very key issue for South Africa, especially for the countries in the global south. And it's been a very interesting time. You go back to 2022 in Bali, Indonesia. You move to New Delhi in India in 2023, where the African Union joined this particular global forum. Then you go to Brazil last year, where also there was a clear emphasis around the eradication of poverty, fighting also inequality, because amongst these leaders, there is an understanding that if you want to talk about tackling inequality, you must deal with these issues, the inclusion of the African voice as well, a very key issue for South Africa's G20 presidency. But another very important issue, obviously, Diabo, will have to be around the mineral beneficiation for South Africa. We know that this is a country with a lot of minerals. So they're talking about the issue of really just doing away with the colonial pattern, pit to pot. So making sure that from a point of origin, these minerals are sorted out so that they're not coming back to South Africa and other parts of the world 10 times more expensive. But during the course of the day, Diabo will be joined by so many guests, really just giving us a sense. So far, we do understand that the discussions are going on very well, where the leaders really are trying to find a consensus in so many of these issues affecting the world.
Thank you so much for that update. We'll certainly be keeping tabs with you to find out how things are progressing there on the second day of that meeting.